For your About Me page, make sure you have a clear headshot in your About Me section. It shouldn't be anything super artistic where we can't really see you, it's just a silhouette. That's what your homepage was for. It was eye-catching and made people want to stick around. Your About Me page, think of it if you went into an audition and you had a headshot connected to your resume. So you want that headshot so people can clearly see what you look like on your About Me page, not some fancy artistic dance shot. Hello and welcome to part 4 of this mini series on how to build your very own dance website. In case this is your first time at this channel, here's a quick recap. On the first video, we created a Wix account. I showed you the dashboard layout and how to use the website editor. Second video, we talked about home pages and menus, common mistakes, and then we built one together. Third video was the fun one. We made a gallery page for both photos and videos, and then some common pitfalls for that as well. And today we are talking about arguably the most important part, but not as fun, About Me section and contact page. Like I said, the About Me page is arguably the most important part of your website because that's where your artistic statement is, that's where your bio is, and your resume. All the things that people actually are looking for besides maybe pictures. Now, that being said, I hate that page because I'm terrible at writing. So with each of these, I'm gonna give you a ChatGPT prompt that was helpful for me. I lied. I wrote these things way before ChatGPT was a thing, but I created and researched these prompts, and so these will be helpful for you if you don't have one yet, or use them to help refine the statements or bios or resume that you already have. So what is an artistic statement, and do you have to have one for your website? I will say personally, I don't know if it's absolutely necessary to have an artistic statement, but I do think it's helpful to work on one because it clarifies who you are as an artist, and I think it just helps you understand yourself better. I don't know if someone looking to hire a teacher or a performer, if looking at their artist statement would really help solidify, okay, I want to hire this person, but it does give people a sense of who you are and your values. So artistic statement is more about your values and what you're interested in. Bio is more about what you've already done. I remember in college, I had to work on my artistic statement as an assignment, and it was kind of hard. So here is a prompt for you to help you create a statement from scratch in case you don't have one already. Also, all of these prompts I will put in the description below, so you can just copy and paste it into ChatGPT. Act as a marketing and branding expert. Ask me targeted questions to gather the information you need to craft a compelling artist statement for my website. I am a blank, in this case freelance dancer, and want the statement to highlight my unique style, experience, and what makes me stand out in the dance world. So put that into ChatGPT and go from there. And again, I would also highly recommend showing it to colleagues, to teachers, faculty if you're in school, and get feedback and see what they think and refine it. And you will always change it as you go because you're gonna also change as an artist. So as you change, your artist statement will probably also change. My tip for artist statements is really just take a step back and look at it from a more macro perspective. We're not interested in specific things like, I like this dance style, I like this dance move, but what is underneath it? What causes you to like that style or that kind of movement? What are other values that you think are important in the dance community that you try to bring into your own practice? Things like that. It's a little bit more ambiguous, and I remember I had to write something similar for a student organization, like a mission statement. This is kind of like a dancer's mission statement. For that organization, we were also kind of annoyed at why our faculty advisor was making us do it. But in hindsight, having that made it much easier and clearer moving forward when we had to make other decisions for the organization because we had this base to go off of. So if you are ever struggling to figure out what direction to go in the future for your career, you can also always reference back to your artist statement and use that as like a home base. Think about, does this career choice align with my artist statement that I made? Now, maybe that means your artist statement needs to change and evolve, or it could mean, no, I shouldn't take that job. I shouldn't do XYZ because this is who I am. This is what I believe in. So It's a lot of work, it's kind of annoying, but I do think it's helpful. I would highly recommend taking the time to create your own artist statement. When it comes to your bio, it's a little bit more straightforward. I think people know what a bio should look like and sound like, but in case you are not clear, here is a ChatGPT prompt to help you. Act as a professional writer and marketing expert. Help me rewrite my bio for my dance website to emphasize my unique qualities and highlight my past experiences in a way that captivates readers and demonstrates why I stand out in the dance industry. Basically, for a bio, you want to make sure it's not too long, but that it highlights what makes you different and unique in the dance field. Now, my tip for this is, remember, your website is to help you get booked for more jobs, whether it's performing or teaching or choreographing or something else that I haven't thought of. So you want everything to work towards that goal. So don't just dump every single thing that you have done onto this bio. Again, it's a resume, it's a highlight reel, it's not a CV, it's not a compilation of every single thing you've ever done. Think about who you want to be looking at your website and think about what they would want to see. For example, if I want to get hired as a hip hop teacher, then I want to make sure I highlight my hip hop experience and my teaching experience as best I can near the top, and everything else can maybe funnel in after that. Also, if there are other things I've done where I've gotten to work with kids but in a non-dance setting, that could also be really important for me to put into my bio. Even though it's not a dance related thing and this is my dance website, it does support my teaching goals and shows that I can work with kids. So think outside the box a little bit. Don't just list who you've performed with and the pieces you've danced in and the choreographers you've worked with, although of course that is also very important. Another way to look at this is I'm in the middle of reading a book called How to Make Friends and Win Influence by Dale Carnegie. Really great book. I highly recommend it to everyone. But basically he has this analogy where as a person, he loves strawberry and cream, but he knows fishes love worms. So if he goes fishing, he's gonna put worms on the hook, not strawberries and cream, even though that's what he personally likes. He knows that the fish prefer the worms and he's trying to catch the fish, so he's gonna put worms on the hook. If you're trying to attract a certain type of work from your website, then you need to think about what those people are looking for and put things on your website that will entice them. By the way, the entire book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is on YouTube, the entire audiobook for free. So I'll also put that in the description. It's been so good so far. I highly recommend it. And your resume, similar to your bio, it should be a highlight of the things you've done that will help sell you to the person you want to hire you. So again, don't dump every single thing you've done and be mindful of what you order first. So for example, for me, as someone who wants to get hired as a teacher, I would put my teaching experience at the very top, probably my education after that, because I want to show that I am certified or, I've had this degree, and then performances, because obviously my dance skill is important, but that's how I would probably order it as a teacher. Performer will be totally different. I might not even put my teaching experience on my resume. So once you have a rough resume, here's a prompt for you for ChatGPT. I need help rewriting my resume. You are going to act as a professional resume writer skilled in presenting information concisely and using niche appropriate language while avoiding redundancy and cliché terms. Can you give me detailed feedback on its overall structure, suggest improvements to formatting, identify unclear sections or areas that should be reworded or removed, and evaluate its effectiveness for helping me get hired as a dance teacher? Of course, replace dance teacher with whatever you want. Please include industry-specific recommendations to ensure it aligns with the expectations and priorities of dance teaching, or whatever you want, roles. So there you go. I did try this one and I was really impressed actually with what it gave me. It gave me good feedback on every single section. My one tip for your resume is make sure it's in a PDF form and not a Word document. PDF is just much better. People can download it, but they can't change it. So keep it as a PDF, not as a Word document. If you have it as a Google Doc, for example, you can always export it as a PDF, I believe. Or if you have it on your computer, you can go to a website like Small PDF, which is totally free. You upload it, it converts into a PDF, and there you go, you're good to go. So I will include a link to that website also in the description in case you need it. Bonus tip for your About Me page, make sure you have a clear headshot in your About Me section. It shouldn't be anything super artistic where we can't really see you, it's just a silhouette. That's what your homepage was for. It was eye-catching and made people want to stick around. Your About Me page, think of it if you went into an audition and you had a headshot connected to your resume. So you want that headshot so people can clearly see what you look like on your About Me page, not some fancy artistic dance shot. Okay, we are chugging along. Last but not least, your contact page. Fairly simple. Don't make it too complicated. Make sure it's easy to find. Make sure it's easy to understand. Make sure any forms or links or things that you have on there are not broken, meaning if you click it, it should actually take you to whatever form or your email or whatever it is. So make sure you test this page once you publish it, just to make sure. My tip for this page is have a call to action. So often people will have a contact page and they just have a form. Wix will let you do, for example, you have to put in your name and your email and then a message, and then it'll submit and it'll send it through Wix. You'll get an email, and that way you don't have to give your personal email. Or you also can have your email just as a link on there and people can click on it and get in touch with you, or your phone number if you're comfortable with that. Side note, I would also make sure your social medias are on your contact page if you have Instagram or anything like that. But I almost never see a call to action, meaning you get to the contact page, I should see something that says to get in touch with me, to book a call with me so I can learn more about you, so I can help figure out how I can best serve your goals or help you reach your goals or provide my services to you. Click here to schedule a call with me, send me a message, anything like that. What a call to action does that's really great is it sets a really clear expectation for the person on that page. If you just have a form people have to fill out, send you a message, great. The problem is they have no idea what's gonna happen to that message. I am totally guilty of this, where I have gotten messages before and I've forgotten to follow up on them, or I just didn't feel like it, and then people are just left hanging, and I probably lost a ton of jobs from that. You can use something like cal.com, which is a free open source platform, very similar to Calendly, where you can set your schedule. So when can people book sessions with you? How long are the sessions? All those things, if it's on Zoom or Google Meet or something else. And then you add a link to your contact page so people can book a call with you so they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. And the best thing, or not the best thing, but a great thing about cal.com or these kinds of platforms is you set it up so then a calendar invite gets created automatically. It gets sent to both you and that person with a Zoom link, because you've also integrated your Zoom or Google Meet, and that way it's already on your calendar. You're not going to forget about it, and you know exactly what's going to happen. They can also add comments so they can give you some context for why they want to talk to you. It just makes it much clearer to both parties on what the expectations are, and so I personally love that. And if I was actively trying to get booked for work, I would definitely add it to my website today. But enough talking, let's build our About Me page and contact page. Here we are back on our template website, and we have our About Me page that is currently blank. So let's add some stuff into this. I'm going to delete all of this first. And let's just see what kind of About Me sections they have. Okay. This is basically like we added to our homepage, which I do kind of like, but instead I think I'm just going to create this from scratch. So we're gonna keep it much simpler. Although you could always just drag this in like we did for the homepage video. Since we already added our headshot from before, it should already be in our libraries. So right here, gonna add that image over here, and I'll just size it down a little bit. And now, as far as formatting, really, you could do it however you want. So the way my personal dance website is, I have my artistic statement first, then my bio, and I actually don't have my resume on there. So we'll add a download resume button. Again, I need to say this, I'm not a designer, so this is a very simple website. It's not gonna look the best, so yeah. Just showing you how to add these things on, and you can tweak it however you want. Actually, let's do that first, because that'll be easier. We're gonna add a button for our resume. we're going to add a document. Now, you could either have it where it was a document you uploaded to Wix, or if you just want it for viewing purposes, you could have it, for example, as a shareable link in your Google Drive. And that way, when people click on it, it just takes them to the Google Drive where they can view it. They don't have to necessarily download it. So you can do it a couple of different ways. So for this one, I'm just gonna do our document, and then I will choose a file. So to show you that, let me go to small PDF. I do have my resume, old resume. I haven't updated this in a while. Fun fact, I have never auditioned really for any of the performance work I've ever done. I did have to audition for like one thing, but I already knew the choreographers and they kind of already knew they wanted me there, so it was more of a formality. But anyways, so here, and then we're gonna download that. So it is now a PDF file. Choose file. And now we're gonna upload. We'll click that, and so now people can click on it to view the resume. And again, just like with any button, we could always change the design, the layout, the font, colors, all of that. Okay, and now let's add our artistic statement. So I'm gonna go up here. And now I do have this. I'm just gonna take it from my website. And now let's add our bio. Again, if you need help writing it, ChatGPT is great. You can just give it a blob, a mess of stuff, and it will help you format it, reword it, all that good stuff. Oh, also a tip actually, I guess, for your About Me page, I highly recommend writing in the first person versus third person, like a lot of times you would do for a program bio. It just makes it feel more personal. And remember, people are coming, dance is very personal. It's a one-on-one connection. So you want it to feel like they know you. So first person just helps with that. I could, in theory, actually maybe put another picture down here just to kind of fill in this gap. I could make the text here a little bit bigger. So let's say I make this, ooh, that's a little too big. Let's say that. And then I have our resume here. And then let me add another picture and pretend this is a picture of me. This is actually my friend Catherine. But I could do something like that here. That way I have a headshot picture and a dance picture. Best of both worlds. Look at that. And just resize it. Try and get everything to match. There you go. Not the best format again, but it's functional at least. So if we were to preview this, I would definitely try line this up better. Or maybe we'll do that, but here. So I click on the resume and now it opens up into the resume. Okay, I said I'm not a designer, but this does bother me. So let's just do this for a moment. I'm gonna line this up here. I would actually maybe even do like the resume could be here in the middle, and then I could extend this more. I could add maybe another picture so I could space this out a little bit better. So if I made this longer, and then I could just add a shorter or a horizontal picture. Say this picture with Orange Grove. you know, you could play with it and just mess around with it. Formatting does take a long time to do well, so you will for sure keep coming back to this section and keep adjusting. You could even, for example, take a photo, the photo gallery that we did before that I said I didn't like, that stack one, and put it on this side here. For sake of time, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. And then we would change the crop a little bit. There we go, photo credit, and then we would also add, I just did Control C or Command C if you're on Macs. There we go, and then change the text. Actually, you know what? Okay, just because, what the heck, we're working on this page. I know it doesn't like that, but I'm just gonna do this, and I'll move me over here, and so we'll put this over here, so that way it breaks it up a little bit. Look at that. Who said I'm not a designer? I'm not a designer. And then we'll maybe do this just to change it up a little bit. That way. There you go. Look at that. Actually, not bad. A quick formatting tip that I learned from a friend. You never want just one word at the end. So like, see how here it's just influences. So that's why I did this. So that way it's a couple words at least for each. You could also add, a box around here. We could get real fancy, but that's not what this is about. So I'm going to say that is done. Going to our contact page. Let's see what they got. So you could just do something like this and be done. Obviously, change all of this text. But then this form, you could adjust the form however you wanted. But basically, once someone put in their information, you would get a message or an email with their message, and then you could reply to it from your email. It's actually pretty cool. Let's create a call to action like I talked about in the tips section. So you could have this still for sure, but so again, this is not a good formatting of the page, but I'm going to add a section on top of this just so we have another thing to show. What the heck? Let's add a box. We want a call to action so people can sign up for a virtual call, right? So it's not just an email that's going to be floating out in the digital space. So here is a call to action. Let's add a button for the actual schedule call, and I don't like this this blue, so I'm gonna change this back to white and then get rid of this box. See, I told you guys I'm not a designer. Don't know why I tried. So let's move it out of this box so I can delete the box. Just to show you real quick what cal.com can look like, this is not going to be a full-on tutorial. If you guys are interested in me making a video about it, let me know. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It's just this video would, again, drag on forever if I did that. This is what mycal.com looks like. Again, it's free. They do have a paid version, but you can do everything in the free version. So I have a discovery call here. So if we take a look at that, this is what is called. Here is the URL. The duration is 30 minutes. I have my Zoom connected, so it automatically makes a Zoom meeting. And then I can tell it my availability. So when can people schedule a call with me? I can tell it how many times a day, between calls, like how much of a buffer time I need. All these things, workflows where it'll send me reminders. It'll send them a reminder. Like I think I have it set for a day in advance and an hour in advance, something like that. So you can see here, it's really, really powerful, really, really cool. We are gonna grab our link back here. And now we're gonna add this link. We'll have it in a new window. Done. Just to show you what it looks like, if I open a brand new window, here it'll tell you based off of the availability I set when I'm available for a call. So I can book it here, put the name, all that stuff, additional notes if there's something that you want to tell me about, and then confirm it. So it's really, really cool, really powerful. And that is basically our contact page. Again, I would find a way to maybe combine this part with this part. So, okay, let's do that real quick. Add a section just to organize this a little bit better. Bring it up to here. I'm just gonna delete this section. Okay, so there we go. So we have an email as well. And then I was going to add our social media. Let's actually add that to this first section so it's at the top. And actually, I would probably add a title. Probably should have added this to the other pages as well. Again, you know, the more you do it, the more you're gonna think about something you forgot. You're gonna go back and add it. Very natural part of the creation process. Social. Let's do a social bar. No, let's do. We'll do some circles. That's cute. Set our links. So here, if I click, you'll see over here what it says and the link that it goes to. So I could go through for all of these. If I don't have one, for example, maybe I don't have LinkedIn, I can just remove it. And that way you can, and then you can always drag and reorder them and add in all of your social medias. So let's do here, user youtube.com/. Make sure you like this video, by the way, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. Done. We'll put that first. There we go. And now our contact page is done, and we are pretty much done with the website. That's crazy. Look at that. 4 videos. Next video, we're gonna make sure everything we've created is mobile friendly because again, most people now view the internet on their phone. So it's super, super important. So we're gonna do that for all the pages. And then I'm gonna show you how to get a domain for your website. And pro tip, do not get it through Wix. It's more expensive that way. There are other options that are way better. And then we're gonna have a fully functioning live website. So if you have been following along, you will have your very own dance website by the next video. So if you haven't seen the previous videos in this series, I would definitely recommend checking them out. I'll have links to them in the cards up above, and they're probably going to show up in front of me at some point. But look at that. We are almost there. So thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you next time.